The sixth letter of the Hebrew alphabet is the Waw or Vav, and the pronunciation depends on the grammar that you're using. The Waw looks something like the Gimel. It's a narrow letter, and it starts out with a little bit of an angle down, and then it finishes up at the bottom of the space. I'm going to put a line here to indicate that this is the sort of the bottom of our writing area. A few Hebrew letters come down below that, and that's why I'm differentiating here. So the Vav, or the Waw, begins a little bit of an angle and comes down. Remember that the Gimel has that hump at the bottom. So that's a Gimel, that's not a Waw. The Waw just comes down and stops. We want to make sure that it comes all the way down to the bottom, because we have another letter called a Yod that comes down part way. And so if we make this Waw not long enough, it's going to look a little bit like a Yod. So we want to make sure that it comes down all the way to the bottom. We also want to make sure that it doesn't go past the bottom, because we have another letter that's the final Nun, and that does come down below. And so if our Vav comes down below, then we're going to be in trouble, because it's going to look a lot like a final Nun. So we want to make sure that it comes down only to the bottom line and no farther. Also, the angle here is important. We don't want that to be a right angle, because then it's going to start looking a little bit like that final Nun again, because the Nun has more of a right angle. And so we want to make sure that our Waw does not resemble the Nun there. So our Waw is going to have a little bit of an angle at the top coming down, sort of towards top left to bottom right, and then it's going to straighten out and come down to the bottom of the writing area. So that is our Waw or Vav. And it's pronounced a W as in wash, or V as in Victor. And depending on the grammar, again, go with what your grammar does, and you'll be fine. So that is our Waw or Vav.